on my phone! Hey! Find my phone! Find my phone! Anybody has Find My Phone? Do you have Find My Phone? What's that? I'm receiving a video signal from my stolen phone? Whoa, wait, let's bring it up on a big screen.
They call us the FMP. Best recovery crew in the business. First rule, never bust. Target's going down Baker Street. Next trick in the book. Excellent boys.
Alright, let's roll it back. What you just saw was an early work in progress fragment from my new film, Find My Phone. Now most of you know me as virtual production operator, but I'm also a film director and storyteller. Now, as much as I love working in those big LED stages, as an early stage director, I can't afford that. But what if I were to tell you there's a way to tell this story without a green screen, without an LED wall, with just a white wall? August 2025, I came across this open source ComfUI workflow created by Mick Mahler. And the thing that really stood out about this workflow was you can film your whole scene and then give it three things. You give it a cutout, a camera track, and an image as a background. And it will merge all those things together and bring them into that composited environment you see at the end. And now there is a couple of things about it which stood out. One is it refines the edges. It creates interaction with the virtual environment. As you can see here, that whole shadow. It also allows you to have camera tracking in. But the key point about it is it keeps your foreground the same. And now that's, I think, one of the main pillars of it. You're able to keep that authenticity of the performance. Oftentimes with most AI tools, it completely changes and wipes out everything. But with this one, we're able to keep that original performance we had with the actor. We can keep the work of our costume designer, of our production designer, of everyone that has put their effort in that foreground, and then combine that in a bigger picture with those backgrounds. Now we shot 35 VFX shots in one day with a completely new workflow. Scary, very scary. But there was one thing I learned from working in virtual production. That's, you do it in prep. And do it in prep we did. Oh my God, we generated images of all the virtual environments, then prepared every single background for each shot that we wanted. We used a tool named Qwen, which allowed us, on base of a normal image, to get all those different angles. We set up a real-time comp system where, over NDI, I connected Premiere Pro with a broadcast, NVIDIA Broadcast, and then OBS, and did loads and loads of R&T tests. And this is only the tip of the iceberg. But this is, some images of the real-time comp. And so this is, as if you were to have a Zoom call and put that image behind. And I think a key thing is, even already, it matches quite well. And I think that's a huge prop and respect to the camera team and lighting team. And they did a fantastic job at that. And I think a key thing as well is knowing what you put in the background. We were very clear that, okay, we're not going to make lighting changes or anything afterwards in post on our backgrounds. This is the way the background looks, and this is how we're going to combine those. Time for post-production. Also, the entire post-production team is here. In this room, standing on this stage. It's a lot of work, guys. Whew. My average day is I I sign into a GPU or computer I've been renting in Finland, then the other one in Spain, and then I've got my own laptop and I start working on the 3 computers at the same time, generating for both and then compositing with the other. And oftentimes, you need quite an expensive computer to do that. But, there's a workflow where you can rent these computers, and it's actually quite cheap. I mean, I pay like 50 cents an hour to rent out, this super expensive computer. Which comes to the second pillar, which I also mentioned earlier with the white wall, is accessibility. I'm not here to sell you anything. I'm not here to say like, this is the workflow, you guys all have to use this. Like, no, main thing I just want to bring across is we're living in such an exciting time, As a storyteller, I couldn't be more gassed, I've, like all those crazy fantasy, sci-fi stories I've been wanting to tell, now finally it becomes a time where you can start to tell those. I think we showed that there is a path, that keeps the human involved. A path, in which we use AI but are able to still keep that authentic performance of the actors and, the whole crew. Like it's a smaller crew, yes, but there's still a whole crew and cast involved in this. And, that's the last part. I think it's a time of opportunity. So I want to encourage you to, seize this opportunity. Those projects you thought, there's no way I'm going to be able to make that. Think about it again, But yeah, that brings me to the one and only fantastic, amazing, brilliant, absolutely splendid team that was able to make this. I mean, yeah, they're great. Also, shout outs to Luna, whose soundtrack has just been phenomenal. Anyways, so yeah, if you guys want to learn more or want to have a chat after, come over. More than happy to talk to you, and thank you so much, everyone.